Zechariah chapter 11 verse 12 prophesies that the Messiah will be sold for 30 pieces of silver, and we see that fulfilled in Matthew chapter 26 verse 15.
It says no such thing. In the passage, the prophet demands to be paid, and was paid, 30 pieces of silver. Nothing about any Messiah, nothing about 500 years in the future. That is completely in your fantasy and imagination, and if this is how seriously you read the Bible, that is just shameful. And again,
many of their answers can have circular reasoning and will sound like, well, you should trust the Bible because it says it's true. And Psalm chapter 22 verse 16 prophesies that the Messiah will have his hands and his feet pierced, which was fulfilled in Luke chapter 23 verse 33.
Again, not a prophecy. The speaker is relating things that have already happened to them and calling for God's aid. The passage you translate as pierce the hand and feet is ambiguous in the sense that the Hebrew Masoretic text attests the word as ka'ari, which means like a lion, whereas the Septuagint Greek reads instead pierced, which some say is a translation of a similar-looking word ka'aru from the lost underlying Hebrew text, although this word is never used in the Hebrew Bible and may not even be a grammatically valid Hebrew word. I am aware that there is a poor-quality Dead Sea Scroll fragment that has become fodder in the debate, which some say attests the ka'aru reading. I am not qualified to referee that debate, but I think the fact that the term ka'ari, or like a lion, appears several times in the Hebrew Bible, and the term ka'aru appears not at all, and that ka'ari, or like a lion, fits with the context of metaphorical attack by animals in other verses of this very psalm, should make ka'ari, or like a lion, the preferred reading over pierced. And there's otherwise no indication of anything related to crucifixion in this psalm. The psalmist says, "Save my life from the sword, from the clutches of a dog, deliver me from the lion's mouth, from the horns of wild oxen." What about any of that sounds like crucifixion, unless you're just wildly imagining things, which kind of seems like what you are doing with all these texts. But regardless, this psalm is simply not a prophecy of 500 to 800 years in the future. This was probably a song meant to be sung in the temple, which is why it has the musical instructions in verse 1. And again, you are falling into doing exactly this.
Many of their answers can have circular reasoning and will sound like, well, you should trust the Bible because it says it's true.